What's up, fans of A.C.B.A, and welcome to another episode of A.C.B.A Saturdays. On today's episode, I go ahead and kick things off with a Minuteman review for the Figuarts Hulkbuster. Supposedly it's really tight. We got a couple of interviews by our man Rectangular. Dave Johnson gives us a crash course on cutout placement. And we get to go behind the scenes with some of this year's contenders for the World Tournament. All of this and much, much more on today's episode of A.C.B.A Saturdays.
That's crispy.
Minutemen Reviews.
What's up, fans of A.C.B.A? Time for a very small and impromptu figure review, 1 minute figure review of a very large and in charge, larger than life figure. We're talking about the Hulkbuster by SH Figuarts and Cho Gokan. This figure is seriously where it's at. What can I say? It's a Goliath. It's super huge. It's got die-cast parts. SH Figuarts and Chojokin both collaborated together to bring us quite possibly one of the most impressive figures that I have in my collection. It's incredible. The price tag can be a little bit up there, especially if you're paying aftermarket retail. That doesn't even make sense. But if you can find it for retail, you're definitely going to get your money's worth. Not only are you going to get immaculate detail in the arms are just unbelievably crazy. All the fingers are articulated. It's crazy. You also get double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, you know, all your bits and bobs from SH Figuarts. So you're really getting a premium product. Not only that, but it does light up. There's LEDs all over it. And it's just a very solid figure. So what more can I say? If you really feel the need to go ahead and pick it up, stop playing yourself. Go ahead and do it. But for real, just pick it up, you know. If you want to do it, just go ahead and do it. Why not? Just 3, 2, 1, just do it. Who cares? Anyway, that was my Minuteman review for the SH Figuarts Hulkbuster. If you want a more in-depth review, you can definitely check out my own personal review for it. It's long. It's just a long video. It's going on 14 minutes long. But if you want to go and find that, you can go ahead and search for Pancheezey SH Figuarts Hulkbuster. It's a long thing to look for. Just click here and you'll get it. Anyway, my arm's getting super tired from holding this heavy-ass camera, so enjoy the rest of the show. God!
Hey there, A.C.B.A community, Rectangular here, bringing you some clips of full-length interviews that I conducted down in Florida this past fall of 2015. I was able to hang out with a bunch of the guys from the A.C.B.A community down there. Was lucky enough to meet Slings a Web, Marvelous Nick Toys 117, Michael Sanchez, and Kirby Pags. We had a really good time going on toy hunts, eating food, and hanging out. Slings put me in front of the camera for once and interviewed me, so look forward to the full-length interviews from these sessions on my channel, Rectangular with a K. And with that, let's get started.
What got me into A.C.B.A was watching YouTube reviews of figures that I wanted to get or I had already gotten, and seeing. I would see certain A.C.B.A videos by going onto YouTube, and I mean, just once I started watching Boog's videos, Shartimus's videos, JR Nightmare's videos, you know, everybody you already know. Mm-hmm. And then eventually, reluctantly, I got onto Facebook. You know, I never wanted to get onto that social media thing, but getting on there allowed me to get more involved in the community. Like I've always collected figures. I've always, you know, made little scenes out of them and stuff like that growing up. But seeing what, you know, these guys were doing, I wanted to get more involved with that. So that's why I got onto Facebook, and then just, I mean, relationships and friendships and everything just exploded from there.
A.C.B.A definitely with Boog, but figure collecting started with Shartimus. I saw one of Shartimus videos. The girl I was dating at the time had bought me a Spider-Man figure, because I've always been the Spider-Man. She got me a figure from the flea market, brought it home, and then I started just searching Google search and everything, and it brought me to Shardamus videos, and that's how I got started with the whole community. Like Shardamus, Century, Boog, all those guys.
The early Marvel Legends
Yeah,
community.
KJ Hulk, Anthony James, like the really early, like nobody knew like about A.C.B.A at the time. Like, and I was still late to that whole game. Like they had already been doing it for like 4 or 5 months, maybe almost a year actually before I got it.
And I found probably Shardamus's videos first, but around the same time, there's this YouTube channel called Stop Motion Dickery, and they used, it was like A.C.B.A on steroids, because it was stop motion with Marvel Legends.
Yeah, I remember them. They
Yeah.
had the big displays, and they were just
They had full-blown dioramas.
they were supposed to come out with the next thing, and they never did it. And
But they did
I
like
remember
3 or
them.
4 really amazing stop motion videos of Marvel Legends, and I was like, holy shit, what are these figures? Because they look amazing. You can do just incredible poses with them. And so I don't know where I put 2 and 2 together, but eventually I found Shardamus's videos and found out about Marvel Legends.
So how'd you actually stumble upon A.C.B.A?
That's a good question. Obviously, I found Boog's channel, and I would have to assume, when you go on YouTube and you watch videos, it'll say on the right, related videos, and it must have seen Boog's channel pop up there, and so I started. It's like, okay, what was this guy doing with his Marvel Legends? And probably just doing the search term for Marvel Legends. Started finding out about the whole community, the whole A.C.B.A community. And so I'm guessing it had to have been Boog's videos first, and the guy who put up the first real solid tutorial for flight stands. Guy
Stashbin?
Canadian, yes, Stashbin.
Yep.
Found a lot of his videos, and so it must have, just gone on Facebook and, looked for, I think, I friended Shardamus obviously pretty early on Facebook, and Rick Dominguez was actually one of the first people he might have been the first person at A.C.B.A that I friended, and that was great because he's been, a corridor for like a lot of people who've been in the community for a really long time. So I feel lucky that I got in the group, met the right people at the right time. Alright, thanks for watching this installment, and make sure to check back for future interview questions I will be posting here, and the full-length interviews that I will be posting on my channel, Rectangular with a K. Alright, talk to you guys later.
Hi, Dave Johnson here. I'm going to talk to you today about A.C.B.A Cutouts Placement. If you're setting up a scene, you want your cutouts to read the same as you would read a book or a comic. In the Western world, I know manga's read backwards, but when we're setting up a comic book scene, you want to be reading from top left to bottom right. I'll show you an example. Here we go, page here, starts here, and you work across that way, across that way, and so on. So you're looking at your top left to your bottom right. I've set up a quick scene, so I'm going to turn the camera around and I'll show you what I mean here exactly. Okay, so here's a quick scene I did with SH Monster Arts. In this story panel you would see the first word bubble is the top left, so this is Godzilla speaking first and Gamera, who's the victim, is speaking second. It doesn't matter as much on the sound effects as to where they come, but preferably you want it to be still flow as part of the story. and obviously the effect's got to make sense in where it is. So Gamera's hitting the floor here, so the crash would be kind of in between the floor and Gamera, which makes the most sense. It would be ridiculous having crash over here or over there, because that makes no sense at all. Obviously we don't understand what they're saying here. I've just tried to use cutouts that I've seen similar in comic books that these have used, but I did have another little quick side with the kaiju translator, so I'll quickly just change these cutouts over. Trying to be very delicate with these cutouts. Nothing worse than knocking the whole scene over. When you've spent a lot of time putting it together. I spent an unreasonable amount of time putting this scene together, by the way. I hope you appreciate it. So there's what they could be saying. Let's check that out. Okay, so we got that kaiju translator in. I'm allowed to tell diabetic jokes. I'm diabetic myself. Calm yourself. So yeah, now you can see how the story would be told. Top left. Oh, nearly. Cut out 1. The crash, cut out 2, and there you go. I hope your storytelling, I hope this helps when you're doing some storytelling A.C.B.A pictures. Obviously the stems are going towards the mouths on both characters. You can tell who's speaking, everything's in place where it should be. Good luck everyone. See you later.
What's up, guys and ladies? My name is Punker Mike. I'm from California, and this year I took 2nd place in A.C.B.A's World Championship Tournament 2015. And I'm blown away. I'm still tripping out. I can't believe that I did this good. You know, I'm stoked and I'm proud to be ranked amongst some of the top and most talented artists in the community right now. And for me, this is a big accomplishment, because I'm fairly new to the group. I've been in the group for almost close to a year, a couple months shy of a year. I debuted in Photo Combat last year. That was kind of like my window into the group. And you know, ever since then, I've met a bunch of cool people. I've learned so much about posing and display art and, you know, picture taking, collecting, diorama building, prop making, all that. And you know, it's awesome. I love it. And this was my first year doing the World Championship Tournament, and I really wanted to take it serious. So as soon as I got my packet, you know, I kind of stopped messing around on the page, didn't really upload any videos on my YouTube channel, and I tried to dedicate at least a couple hours a day to my entries, whether it be you know, writing down ideas, or even just doing homework, watching previous year's entries. Or I mean, there's so many videos on YouTube that a lot of people from the community have up, like advice videos and tips and tricks, or just anything. So my round 1 entry was for horror, and I wanted to do something that I knew nobody would do. And I also kind of wanted to throw my personality in there a little bit. So I'm a huge 80s movies fan. I love 80s movies. I love horror movies, and I love wrestling. And so of course They Live is one of my top favorite movies. I love Rowdy Roddy Piper. So I was able to make a couple custom figures, made some dio pieces, and I set up this huge display with some of the dio pieces I made and ones I already had made, and I built like this alleyway, or this sidewalk, added all kinds of stuff. And for me this was huge because it took up like a big part of my room. There's a lot of oversights that I definitely could have got my scores higher, but I was kind of more focused on, I guess, like the wrong kind of things. I don't know, I guess it was just inexperience. I could have got a lot higher scores if I would have took the time and fine-tuned a bunch of little things. But you know, that got my confidence up. I got a lot of good feedback, and once I got my breakdown of my scores, I looked at what I scored low on, and I tried to build off that. And I see my low points, what people scored high on, and I watched their videos, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, why did they score higher? What are they doing that I didn't do? So that really helped. So on my next round, or the next round, I did Maximum Carnage, and I tried to focus on storytelling and cinematography and my editing, and I did improve a lot on that. There was still a couple oversights that hurt my score a little bit, but still, again, I got a good response, I got good scores, and I was satisfied. But same thing, trying to see what the judges are looking for. I'm kind of learning as I'm going. And then third round would be flip the script. This one I was struggling on. I had a couple ideas that I wanted to do, but they weren't really working out. So then went to my comic books, and I started ripping through back issues. And then I came across Usagi Yojimbo, and then the wheel started turning. Came up with a story, sketching out different scenes, and as soon as I finished making my custom figure, that's when it was on, and I started just putting everything together. I had a lot of the stuff I needed already. Everything else I needed, I found at either the dollar store, the thrift store. The thrift store is amazing. You can find anything at the thrift store. And you know, I went to the beach and I got driftwood, and I tried to make those into trees and stumps and stuff. I just tried to be most creative as I could. So for the story, I wanted kind of the least amount of reading possible, but I still wanted to be able to tell my story proper. So I tried to put it in the least amount of words possible, and that's pretty much why I set up all the scenes. I set up a bunch of different scenes, so that way to kind of keep you interested, so you're not just in one diorama or one scene reading a bunch of different bubbles. You're kind of jumping around to kind of keep you entertained. So as you're reading, you're getting new stuff to look at to try to keep you involved. At least that's what I was trying to think of. So, you know, like, oh, there's these different scenes, and maybe you're pausing it and kind of checking out the background, or, you know, you're rewatching the video a couple times because as you're reading the story, you're missing out on stuff. And that's why I prefer dubs over subs. Yeah, I know, I'm the worst. You know, I'm stoked to see that all my hard work paid off, and I'm still amazed that I finished second place. And, you know, huge shout out to Jeremy Lee. I mean, you brought some heat this year. All your entries were amazing. You're a talented artist, and you deserve the gold, bro. So good job, man. And Shannon Bowie and CJ and Mike Whisman, you are all guys that I respect, and I look up to you guys, and you guys are such talented artists. And, you know, you guys put in amazing work this year. So congratulations. And everybody that entered, man, like I said, everybody's bringing heat this year. Everybody's making everybody step up. Everybody's constantly raising the bar. You know, man, that's what it's all about. And again, thanks to everybody who was involved, sponsors, judges, all the supporters and fans. If you want to check out my entries or check out any of my behind the scenes videos, you can check me out on YouTube. My channel is called Punker Mike. And other than that, we'll see you next time.
Hey, what's going on, A.C.B.A? I want to thank you for all your support for doing the competition. I want to thank to the judges and admins for organizing this competition. Gotta be a hard work to organize all the sponsorship, and they've done a very professional competition, all the way from promotion, the submission system through YouTube, the communication throughout the competition, what's going on and when things are due, and all the requirements and nitty-gritty things that I have to do, the event organizing, so that you can view all these entries in Facebook. Everything's put together nicely, so that people know where to go and view all the entries. And also all the judges, man, they gotta judge tons of videos in that 2 weeks and deliver the result in 2 weeks. That's especially for the first round, you know, where they get like 90 plus entries. Yeah, thank you for all the hard work. Thank you especially to Peppy too. I know she does a lot of work behind the scene to make the score files and post the entries, and I don't know what else she does. You know, thank you. I want to go over how I prepare for the first round display. Because of the cinematography aspect of this competition this year, I want to do a storyboarding, just like how the professional do it. And so I did a storyboard just to see how I want each shot to be taken, like what kind of prop, what kind of figure do I want to plan ahead, and so that when I actually do my display, everything has been prepared. Now I create this base, used some dried branch from my front yard, cut some small ones, and then I left them to dry outside for like a couple of weeks under the sun. It was already fall here, so it wasn't too hot. So I think the key is that you do not want it to dry too fast or dry too slow. So the weather was pretty nice, so it works, it dries okay. And then now you don't want it to rot, so you want to prevent moisture from going into the branch and causing it to rot over time. So what I use is this spray called shellac clear spray. This will preserve the branch, basically prevent the moisture from going into the branch, prevent it to rot. I've threw away some of the ones with the leaves because the leaves start falling everywhere in the house, and I don't want to make a mess. I just throw them away. I'm probably gonna make another version of this base. Probably gonna cut a bigger branch and then use wooden board as the base, and then nail the branches to the wooden base. I think that will look better. This is just something I did the first time, and just kind of experiment with what I have at this time. But yeah, I want to make a new one better, maybe like a forest scene or something. And I went through several iterations of this display. First, I even used Sadako from Ringu, from that Japanese horror movie, as the main villain. And then, but I end up using this custom character, use chameleon body, and then put the skull, and then I mold the wig, and I put an extra of the Goro face as the peeled off face. Now I'm using Goro face as the peeled off face to show that Goro, who's on the phone booth, is facing his own death. Now the second round display is actually on the Attack on Titans, the Battle of Tross scene. This is the one display that I'm actually most excited for. I had this idea like 6 months before, but I keep it for the tournament because it's just too much work to do. Start preparing the house from months before, find the online file, cut it out, build them, one house, like maybe 2 houses a day. And then I ordered this small figurines through eBay from someone in China for a pretty good price. And I originally wanted to use this song, the Reluctant Heroes, as the background song for the video, but it was copyrighted. So every time I uploaded, it was removed by YouTube. So I ended up using like a version of this song that's acoustic version. For the final round display, I was actually going to the new Secret Wars theme for this round, and the example is this scene where Doctor Strange is talking to Chala and Reed, and I will show Doctor Doom later with all the scenes from the battle world, and have everything using cutout, and it was something that I have planned since the first round. I got so 2 months ahead, and I got all figures. I got even this 3A Doctor Doom, and then I was researching what cutouts I want to use. Then I was busy doing Thanksgiving, and then I was organizing the Christmas event at church, and I had 1 week to finish the final round display before I have to leave for the cruise. I want to get it done before I leave, just in case I got stuck in the sea. But then I got an epiphany that Secret Wars requires the knowledge of the story. It's very conceptual, and actually won't score very high because there won't be enough posing, there won't be enough dynamic poses, there won't be enough props, and there won't be enough effect. So I decided to do a street level fight instead. So I used the Judge Dredd as Skull figure and Voltec Raiden. Just play around with them and do this display. And I did the storyboarding again, just like I did in the first round, and then I do every scene. Basically do once in a day. Get them displayed, record them, and then process the video. And managed to get all done in 1 week and submit them. The final money shot is done using a camera roller skate. This thing allows me to do a circular shot, and it is cheaper alternative than using a camera rail. And it's also better because you can do a lot more movement than camera rail, which can just go straight. It's pretty good investment for videography. My overall impression of this tournament is really great. I actually succeeded to not use a single Marvel Legends figure at all for the whole competition. But the Coulson and Chameleon body, well, it's technically not one Marvel Legend figure because I didn't use their head. They're either head swap or headless. There is one element that is pervasive throughout all my display, which is the face-off element. All displays have a face-off situation. If you guys have not joined the competition before, you should. Or if you skip this year, you should come next year. It pushes your craft further, not only during the competition, but also during the year, because you're training yourself for the competition. It is also a good excuse for you to excuse yourself from family or friends to do some displays that you have been wanting to do but don't have the time to do it. Peace out.
Yes, sir, we're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with this month's Bump segment. This is where we highlight pictures that originated in the A.C.B.A Facebook group. They may have been featured on our fan page or Instagram, but it's just different photos that were really, really well liked in the group and got a lot of accolades and comments and shares and all of that good stuff. So the first photo that we're looking at was actually the Sunday special on Instagram on December 6th, 2015. Obviously, we're going to be looking at stuff from the month of December. So this was from Lucian Alves. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. His Instagram moniker is CN_collect. That's CIAN as in Nancy _COLEC. And this was around the time that the Captain America Civil War trailer dropped. He's got Iron Man facing off against Captain America. Nice little effects with the cotton to look like smoke, and Iron Man rushing in on Cap and crushing him into the wall here. And this got a lot of likes, up over 700 in the group and almost at 1,000 on Instagram. Next up, we're looking at a photo from my man Casey Porter, aka @IrishBlood 4800 on Instagram, and this turned out to be the Instagram Sunday special for December 13th, 2015. He's got a nice little mashup here of a lot of different figures. He's got the Revel Mini Venom Snake in the front, and then he's got Marvel Universe Crossbones, Acid Rain Bob, G.I. Joe Retaliation head swap on one of these figures, and a Pursuit of Cobra figure, and a Beachhead figure, and some things are just kind of swapped out. He basically just made his own little military unit, and he's got that chopper back there with a little force perspective, just a construction paper backdrop, but the look of this, it was really, really nice, and it got a lot of love in the group, and almost had 500 on Instagram. This was cool. This right here was the third Sunday special of the month. This was December 20th, 2015. This is from the OG Slings of Web, showing these young boys, even though he's 50 years old, he could still display with the best. And this was like a mashup of a couple of different A.C.B.A techniques. He's got something that sort of looks like a got you covered style display, but it's also like a collage, and then it's also sort of like a portrait as well. So looks pretty good here. Looks really good actually. Got a lot of love in the group. He's got what looks like the outline of a comic cover or a poster in the foreground, and that is outlining the figures that he has in the background, which is the first appearance Daredevil, the Walgreens exclusive, the regular release of Daredevil. Then he's got the head that came with the Walgreens exclusive on the chameleon body to make her just kind of relaxed Matt Murdock. And then he's got them, it looks like they're perched atop a building, and it's just framed really nicely. Looks really good. Got a lot of love. Dope. This was the fourth and final Instagram Sunday special for December. This was December 27th, 2015, right before the new year. This is a picture from my man Russell Fuller, aka Nintendo_Ninja on Instagram. The Aussie Russell Fuller coming in with the last Sunday special of 2015, and this was really, really cool. It's just showing his custom Star Killer here, using a force push to push back some stormtroopers, and it's just framed really nicely. Nice bright backdrop popping. He just got basically a poster board with some light on it, and that's a very simple technique that a lot of people use, but the way this is framed and the way they're moving back just looks really, really good. I know Star Killer is a figure that a lot of people want to see produced by a mainstream company. So December was a great month in the A.C.B.A Facebook group. Like I always say, you should come out and join us there. Even if you're not actively displaying and you're just trying to spectate, it's a great place to be. We saw the release of The Force Awakens in December, so obviously a lot of Star Wars shots. This is from Cody Craig. This one here is from my man John Philippe, aka Raspberry Chainsaw. We saw the Sarah Connor figure drop in December. This is from my man Pharaoh Black. We also saw Craig Warwick bless us with his Apocalypse custom. That's what you see there. That looks great. Matt Goldberg here, you know, he's the wrestling master, and he's got Randy Savage there. This is a picture from Flipnosis, aka Billy Paleo. Him and Mike Wang have a podcast going you should check out. This is from my man Jeremy Lee. That looks very, very clean. This was actually a Purple Revolver image of the week from my man Black Lantern on Instagram, and this is from Johnny Flores, aka Diamond Figures on Instagram, another feature from Purple Revolver. This is from my man Mike Amsberg was the $1 Million Man shot. This is here from Slings of Web. I'm freestyling these, so bear with me. This is from Oliver Peterson, and he does a lot of World War II stuff like that. I believe this is Marlo Demos, and that's totally tangible right there. This is from my man D Prince. He's got the A.C.B.A cutouts in the back there, and those figures look great. We're going to talk about this next month. This was clean as fuck. That's from my man Rich Pereira. This is from Christopher Serta. He did all of those customs himself. Those look really good. D Prince again right here with the custom cape on Ultron. That's the Revoltech Ultron. This is from Drew Cameron. This was dope. Really nice A.C.B.A cutouts right there again. I believe this is from Danny Garcia. Correct me if I'm wrong. Another shot here from Rich Pereira, obviously a play on the classic boxing scene there. And this was from Mohammed Nurala. Again, some more A.C.B.A cutouts. This was from Series 3 of the cutouts. I believe this one was too, and this is from Brandon Deichler. So listen, A.C.B.A is doing some big things, putting out some great work. There's artists from literally all over the world doing this and putting out just tremendous, phenomenal displays. So again, if you are even semi-interested in trying to learn the fundamentals of display work and display art, then you should definitely come and join us in the A.C.B.A Facebook group. Create an account and, you know, just keep one just for action figure stuff. If you're not a big fan of Facebook, then just create an account just to come in the group and to like the fan page. And be sure to follow us on Instagram as well. So it's at Articulated Comic Book Art. And just have fun, man. Keep doing what you're doing, and we're going to move on.
Hey, it's Kid Grayskull with a quick wrap-up vid for the 2015 A.C.B.A World Championship. This was actually my first year competing in the championship, and to be honest, I was a little reluctant to enter at first. That's mainly because I'd never shot a professional video before, and I had no idea on how to edit one either. But just like the Photo Combat tournament earlier in the year, the competitors helped me push my limits and recognize more of my creative potential. Creating my round 2 entry was probably the most fun. Having Daredevil balance on the hand ninjas like that was pretty rewarding when it came through in the end, but I can't begin to tell you how many times this scene fell over. It's pretty frustrating. There's no stands at all in this, that's all balance. So I was pretty happy with it in the end. I have to give a huge shout out to Michael Whisman for this custom Punisher. It came out real nice. I was really happy to get this. I think I got it a few weeks before this entry was due, and I just had to hold off and use it. Heading into round 3, my focus was to try and impress the judges with technical aspects like cutouts, cutout placement, posing, scenes, etc., to try and balance or offset the fact that my weakness was mainly shooting videos. Having competed against such a huge field of talented artists, I really do feel blessed coming in at 3rd place. I want to share my gratitude and thanks with all the A.C.B.A. admin staff, all of the judges. You guys do a fantastic job every single competition. Thank you so much to the sponsors. And Jeremy, man, this was a long time coming, bro. You truly do deserve it. Enjoy.